dry ice just around you.
Good evening. I'd like to call to order regular scheduled meeting for April 25th, 2019. And I need a roll call, please.
President Wells,
Here.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Here.
Commissioner Cook,
Here.
Commissioner Bianchi,
Here.
Commissioner Stauder.
Here.
Okay, I have two meetings that we need the approval of minutes on. First, April 11th, 2019 Committee of the Whole meeting. And the second is April 11th, 2019 regular meeting. Need a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye, none opposed. Okay, we're at public communications. Any comments from the audience? Seeing none. Any correspondence? Hearing none. We are at employee accomplishments. Tom Smith, a 20-year service. Tom, if you want to stand up real quick. So we're honoring Tom Smith for his 20 years of service to the Elk Grove Park District. Tom started with the Park District in 1999 when Marge Hart, the family program coordinator, now retired, asked him if he would like to be the Park District science guy. He accepted and the rest is history. Tom taught science classes in the old teen center until 2005 when the classes evolved into science camp and they were moved to the Hattendorf where it continues today. Tom's tenure with the Park District also includes leading science parties, chaperoning teen dances, working as a carousel party host, being the mad scientist at Halloween Fest, and I think the most important, the conductor at the Polar Express, just to name a few. Sadly, this will be Tom's last year of teaching science camp as he is planning to retire after the summer. Tom won't stay away though. He is planning to continue his work at the carousel party host, correct?
Correct.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
As the mad scientist in a Halloween Fest and the conductor of Polar Express. We'd like to thank Tom for all his hard work and dedication to our Park District. We are lucky to have him as part of our team. Tom, congratulations.
Much appreciated.
We appreciate you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a great experience. You know, we don't always know, you know, like at any point along the journey, how many years it's going to be. And then suddenly it's like, what? You know, 20? Really? How did that happen? But no, it's been fantastic. The many opportunities. I've had the, you know, the chance to wear many hats. Many of them, you know, repeated over the years, like Mad Scientist, like Science Camp, the Polar Express. You know, I sometimes chuckle at the fact that it was Tom Hanks, and my in the movie, and my first name is Tom, so I try to sometimes look at it that way. But it's been a great and rewarding experience, and I thank the Park District for its professionalism and you know, working with and for great directors like Chris Fearing, Lisa Civic, Claire Naughton, Noreen Newton. I'm sounding like I've been around a while, right?
20 years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And you know, Deb Baum and just, you know, so many wonderful directors who have shown enormous consideration and sincere, you know, concern and, you know, teamwork and problem solving needs to be done, which is inevitable, right? You know, in any endeavor, in any line of work. And so that support, thank you, Chris. And, you know, thanks to all the other directors and fellow employees I've worked with over the years. It's been really nice, thank you.
Thank you. Chris, do you have anything you want to say?
Just that it's been a pleasure working with you, and I worked with him, but I wasn't really a supervisor. I was only a supervisor for 1 year, so, but I was very pleased to work.
That's 1/20th though. It's not bad.
I worked with him on several things, but thank you for all of your years of service.
Well, thank you. You're very welcome, and thank you also.
Tom, I'd like to add something.
Yes.
Because the staff already knows this, but the public doesn't get to see you every opportunity. But, you know, I've talked to you many times and I've known you for a while.
Thank you.
The adjective that doesn't show up on the accolades that he was talking about is passion. And you can't fake passion. And you are one of the most passionate people when it comes to being the science guy and being in the buildings. And I've seen the children, how you embrace the interaction. And to me, that's very rewarding because you can pay employees to do a particular role or to do a function. But when you get an individual that feels passionate about it at the same time, that's rewarding, and that's a win for our residents. So I think that's really important that you stand out with that passion.
Thank you so much. That's greatly appreciated. And one other, it reminds me too, and I've shared this with Chris and Deb and others, is that many, many times I hear compliments about our park district. Our park district, and most of those specific compliments have to do with the carousel and the Jumps and Jiggles room, because what we have with the park district here in Oak Grove Village is unique. There are many, as you know, there are many fine park districts, that do what they can with meeting rooms and recreation centers and, aquatics and everything. But sometimes, you get often see, hear the compliments, of families who have engaged in party rentals, and they're there for 3 hours and they're looking at the carousel, it's like the kid in the candy store, look, the sparkle, wow, this is a great place. And they see the Jumps and Jiggles room, we get to go in here too, really? And so, again, this is not just, an occasional random thing, we hear it frequently, don't we? Yeah, and these are visitors who are just very impressed with our facilities, and deservedly so, because again, they're unique, they're well maintained, and I greatly appreciate the compliments, and I think I see that too in my fellow employees, the passion and the concern and the dedication and the care, caring about what you do. I've been a teacher for a long time too, and that's an important component of the work that I do, is to care about what I'm doing and to be driven by it. Not insanely so, I hope, but yeah, passion describes it, and I think it's true. I've loved it, and I think that connects with what the kind words that you shared. So when Halloween Fest and Polar Express and other opportunities have come around again once a year, a couple of times, whatever the frequency, I've been happy to say yes. And my retirement from science camp, as you mentioned, and as you're aware, is just going to be that. I plan to continue with, helping out with pavilion parties and some of the other special events. But I'm 65 now, and I think that our word retirement is starting to whisper in my ear more. And I'd like to do some traveling, including summertime, which is when science camp has been held. But this summer we're going to get cracking, and we're going to enjoy it again. And I thank you again for the recognition.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Okay, we're to introduction of special guests. We have the AARP Tax Preparer Representative, Pat Zolke. If you'd like to come up.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm the new local coordinator taking over for Fred. Although Fred has been around a lot, and you would think he was still a local coordinator. I'm always saying, Fred, what do I do? So I want to thank you for allowing me to present to you and let you know a little bit about our organization and how we work. The tax group has been in existence for 52 years starting this year. We partner with AARP, the IRS, and the Park District. And without you guys and the team, we would never get what we get done. I mean, this Park District supports us so fantastically, from the facility, the computers, the people always helping with anything we ask. Tammy, Jeff, Colleen, Gina, Brenda, all the people in the front office, George, the IT people at the drop of a hat, because I am completely illiterate when it comes to IT. So there, and always with a smile and a yes, no problem. Never with, well, can you give me a minute? It's always right at that second, no matter what it is. So I want to really emphasize how grateful we are for what you guys do for us. Without you, nothing would happen, believe me. This year, we did a total of 513 tax returns. 499 were paper. No, 499 were electronic. 14 were paper, and we had a success rate of 98%. Success rate being when we submit it, it's accepted on the first try. Nothing bounces out for any reasons. Most frequently, the reason that we would get a bounce out was because of an EIN number, which is whoever was presenting a payment, somebody entered their identification number. So once again, I really want to thank you all for everything you've done. Oh, I do have some other information. Of the whole District 11, which we are part of, there were 3,577 returns done. Of that, 397 were residents of Elk Grove Village. We do get people from Bensonville here in Elk Grove and Wooddale because they don't have sites. So, but basically, we do a lot of Elk Grove, as you would guess. The average adjusted gross income for the groups we did across the district was $31,151. And again, we had a success rate of approximately 98%. The number this year is only 8 units lower than last year.
Very good.
Questions?
Is it for just seniors typically?
No,
or?
we do. We will take anybody of modest income. What really is our definer is if they've got so much paperwork to be entered that it's going to take over an hour. So we take single parents, we take kids straight out of college or high school that are making small dollar amounts or minimal and can't afford to pay to have it done. The vast majority, I would say, are seniors, but we take anybody that really needs the help.
Because I know what I have paid in the past, and I know it's more than a couple $100 sometimes. So if you times that by, how many did you, 500 and some?
Yep, 513.
Yeah, that's a substantial savings for our residents and neighbors, so we thank you very much.
Well, thank you guys, because we couldn't do it without your help. You keep us moving. I mean, you've got us so organized with our appointments and everything. We just couldn't do this without your help.
So Pat, how many volunteers do you have?
We have 18 volunteers in various positions, from facilitators who get the people in, help them fill out the basic form to get through the process, ensure they have everything before the actual tax preparers sit down and say, oh, you're missing this, this, and this. We can't finish this, and you have to come back. To the people that do quality review. Now, every tax return that's done is checked by a quality reviewer. Nothing goes out of our site without 2 people looking at it and verifying what we have is correct.
Very good. Any other questions?
I just want to say, they give us compliments, but they are very, talk about smiles on their faces. I never saw anybody that didn't have a smile on their face, so thank you to you.
Thank you.
And thanks to Fred Janowski. In all seriousness, you're not here for the accolades, but one thing that you do lend yourself to, Fred, is things that every successful program needs, which is consistency and continuity. And having you, not so much in the background, but the fact that you are there and other people are leaning on your advice, that you may not be coming up to the microphone, but the employees know you're there, board members know you're there, the residents know you're there, and I think that's what continues to make it a successful program also, so thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Okay, excuse me, we're at recommendations, and acceptance of approval. Is that after that? Okay. So committee reports, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Capital projects, Commissioner O'Malley.
No report. I want to see if Ben's got any kind of an update on, not hard to have a capital report without our Director of Parks and Planning there. So how is that coming, Ben, or would you like to just keep that off air?
We have a few I'm considering. I have another interviewee coming in tomorrow, and one I'm bringing back for a second interview actually tomorrow afternoon. So we're moving forward.
So once somebody does take that role, Bob and I will set up a meeting with that individual, and then we'll be ready for the next report.
That's more than fair. Finance Committee, Commissioner Sauer.
Okay, we've got the March 2019 financials. The corporate fund collected $2,778,861 in property tax in March, which is net of prior year refunds. All expense categories are under budget with the exception of salaries and wages and benefits. Net revenue year-to-date is $1,877,000 compared to budget of $1,867,000. In the rec fund, there was $1,020,000 collected in property taxes in March. Program fees are $490,000 year-to-date compared to a budget of $452,000. Aquatic program revenue is up 6.5%, and overall PAC revenue is up 3.8% year-to-date. The dance revenue is up 13% year-to-date. Early childhood, family, and athletic programming revenues all exceeded year-to-date budget, and all expense categories are under budget, with the exception of program supplies. Net revenue year-to-date is $615,000 compared to 2018's year-to-date net revenue of $669,000. Golf fund, the driving range and course opened on Friday, March 22nd. It's a little bit later than in prior years, but we had some goofy weather up and down. It seems like it's stabilizing a little bit now, thank God. Golf course had 330 rounds in March. Again, that's down for about 4 years. That was the lowest we've had. All expense categories are under budget. Net revenue year-to-date is $185,000 negative compared to a budget of $259,000 negative. And ends my report.
Any questions or comments for Commissioner Sauter? Okay, we move to Committee of the Whole. Last Committee of the Whole, which I was not a part of, but it looks from the notes like it was pretty quick. We talked about Fox Run. As we know, we're moving closer and closer to, I think we're in kind of the design stage, right? Seeing what we like, seeing what we need. And then there was some notes here about the athletic committee and the partnership between that and the athletic programs. Those of you who are here, am I missing anything from that committee of the whole?
No.
Okay. And tonight's committee of the whole, basically, we talked about Hitchcock Design Group master plan proposal. When was the last time we did a master plan done, roughly?
2013.
So 2013, we did the last master plan, and we will be doing another master plan. We've yet to decide the start date, but it looks like it's gonna be anywhere from June till October, let's just say, wide open. And then we did discuss about the recognition plaques, of which we have 3, and we'll have some more information on that in an upcoming meeting. Anything that I've missed, or any questions or comments for me? Okay, Athletic Committee, Commissioner Sauter.
Okay, on April 10th, we had a athletics committee meeting at which Jeff, Jimmy, Brian, and Tammy gave us an update on the 7 advisory boards and some other programs. Just to reiterate, one of the things that, Brian O'Malley and Jimmy Kavanaugh are the sort of the liaison, I guess you'd call them, right? Coordinator, whatever, for all these programs that we have. And just so you know who's in charge of what, Brian O'Malley is working with travel baseball, house baseball, softball, basketball, adult high school basketball, adult softball, martial arts, gymnastics. And Jimmy is football, cheer, soccer, inline hockey, volleyball, soccer clinics, bags, and general athletics contractors. Just to go around the horn real quick, travel baseball, they're proud to announce they got an 8U team back this year. They're down one 14U team. 7 total travel teams will be participating in, what's PPP?
Play picnic party.
Oh, the Play Picnic Party, yeah, which is a big event. The field requests are all in, and that's about it. Their house baseball, they had 300 registered in 2018, 299 in 2019, so pretty steady there. House softball registration was up a little bit, 226 this year, and that including fire compared to 210. Right now, is there an update on fire, how many teams they're going to have?
So there will be 3 teams proposed, and they're going to have tryouts on May 5th.
Okay, so there you go, May 5th, the youth fire, it's a tournament team, kicks in after the regular house season.
Correct. They're proposing 3 to 5 tournaments for each of those teams. So, yeah, it's like through July and August.
Okay, then I'm gonna circle back to softball in a minute. Basketball, their season obviously ended recently, and they got some surveys out and coming back. Hopefully, I guess about half the advisory board's leaving this year. Probably have to do some work to get that beef back up so we can get that program up and running smoothly. Football, their registration was a week ago? I think maybe 2 weeks ago? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. I think it was on like the 13th. Their numbers are actually up a little bit from last year, and hopefully they can continue growing that. I know as a part of that, John and I met with Bob Murphy and Miles Osei from Elk Grove High School. Very happy to say that they're actively involved in trying to help us grow our programming, especially football right now. I mean, it's Miles, the football coach over there. But they've done a lot of work already and have coordinated, I know, with you and Kelly. And so it's just a great partnership. It's great to be working with them. They're very talked about passion, Bill. Very passionate, very forward-thinking on this whole thing. They know helping us is going to help them eventually, and so it's a great partnership, and we look forward to continuing to work with them. Jeff Smith, who's the president of Elk Grove Youth Football, met with them last week, I believe, on Tuesday, and came away from that meeting, the week before, not this past Tuesday, the one before maybe. Came away very positive from that meeting that, things are going to move forward. The Elk Grove coaches are going to do some clinics for the coaches in youth football, try and get the thing streamlined. Love to work with Conant too, because I know half of our program, feeds each of those high schools, but for right now, Elk Grove High School has kind of stepped to the plate. Soccer, spring numbers are up a little bit. And nothing more out of the ordinary. I don't know if you heard any updates on that one. Okay, inline hockey numbers are really low. They've got 4 teams at the high school division, but I don't think they have even enough for 2 teams below that.
Correct.
And so they're looking for ways to engage the kids that did sign up and do some kind of skills programming or something like that. I know it's in process. A couple other things that they mentioned were the bags tournament. In 2019, they had 23. In 2018, they had 14 with 7 walk-in teams. What was that?
Right, so they came later, they added those teams, but this year we had 23 teams and it continues to be very popular, so
Yeah.
we'll
And
continue that.
And then another thing that's long overdue, I think, really is the volleyball programming is growing. Very exciting. My daughter played volleyball, so I got a warm spot for that. Although sitting in an auditorium with 100 teams all yelling "yay" at the same time is really tough, but we overcame that. All right, so I want to back up a little bit to softball. We've had a number of emails from a resident suggesting that we look into starting up another a full-time travel team. And at this point, we got the fire program, which is, I guess you'd consider it part-time travel, and we're focused on that. We just got through this whole process of bringing all of these programs into the Park District as programs, and we're trying to get this thing rolling. And so as of right now, we're going to stick with, we've got our house program, so we're not denying anybody anything. Anybody that wants to sign up for the house program, it's no cut. You can get in there. And we do have a travel component in the fire. And so Tammy, why don't you go ahead?
Right, so the staff has talked, and even with the athletics committee, we talked about what our first and second steps would be. Our first step is to promote the fire, and let's see how many kids try out. Let's see what those numbers are, and let's promote that travel component first. That's our first step. If we need to look down the road at continuing into the fall or next year, we'll do that. We just want to go first steps. So that's where we're at. So we're excited about the fire. We're hoping that that generates that interest, and we'll go from there.
And then just for all these programs, if anybody's out there and they're interested in putting their kids in these programs and they want to further get more involved in helping run them, we do have advisory boards that are doing most of the day-to-day legwork, just like they've always done. And, you know, as we described in basketball, a lot of the board members left. That what happens is your kids get out of the program, you know, age out of the program, and there goes the volunteer workers along with them. It's an incredibly valuable asset to this community, to the youth sports programs, because, you know, not to put it too harshly, it's free labor, which helps keep the cost down to our residents and their kids so they can participate. So we would love to leverage that, and if you're at all interested, you can contact Brian, Jimmy, Tammy, anybody here, and they can get you in contact with the appropriate people for each of the advisory boards for the athletic programs. And that ends my report.
Any questions or comments for Ralph? Commissioner Sauter? Sorry.
Either one.
Moving on, Golf Course Committee is Commissioner Cook.
Yes, we did, the golf course committee did not meet, however, as we mentioned earlier, we did discuss at the committee of the whole and reviewed with the board the preliminary design plans that Williams Architect came up with. They are now moving to the architectural design phase and are in the process of preparing a budget for us to review on that phase as to getting more details into exactly the building structure that we're going to build there. So the initial one was very preliminary, very basic, and this will be the next phase. And we'll also include a timeline for when they'll start and hopefully have it completed. So we hope to have that then. Do we have a time frame when we might have that for the board to review?
We should have something to talk about at next committee of the whole.
Okay.
So May 9th.
Okay. And that ends my report.
Any questions or comments for Tom? Hearing, seeing none, Youth Committee is Commissioner Biedke.
May 3rd is the deadline for the youth scholarships. There will be 7 this year, 2 from the Elk Grove Park District's Youth Foundation, Parks Foundation, excuse me, and then the other 5 from the Elk Grove Village. The reason for the increase is last June, the microbrewery in Elk Grove Village gave a check to the village for the youth committee for $17,000. So the village has decided to increase their number of scholarships. So we are at 7 this year. So May 3rd is the deadline, so please make sure you get them turned in. Once the packets have been sent to the members, we'll go through them, and which is right around Memorial Day. And then we will, I will talk to Kathy and Executive Director Ben to put this on the June meeting, to either the first meeting in June or the second, depending on when we announce the scholarships. We usually like to do it when the village does it at their meeting. I will be attending the village board meeting that night, along with, Bill won't be attending this year. But John Walls maybe possibly will be attending that meeting at Village Hall. But get your applications in, so this will be the last time I say that, May 3rd. The Youth Committee will have a meeting that's scheduled on Monday, May 6th here at the Elk Grove Park District Administration Center. And we will talk about some summer activities going on. So more information to come after the May 6th meeting. That concludes my report.
Any questions or comments for Commissioner Biedke? Seeing, hearing none, we're back to Mr. Cook, Adult Center Committee.
Yes, I attended the April 16th advisory board meeting, and good news, they're doing well over there, and the recent registration yielded 6 new members, so they are now at 292 members compared to last year of 285, so they're going in the right direction on that. We had talked a little bit about the us looking into possibly purchasing or upgrading our bus that we use for different events that they have there. As you know, some of the trips they take, they do hire out transportation. But on some of the smaller trips, they take the buses that we have at the preschool. And for some of them, they're good for short distances, but over the wheel well for some of the seniors to be able to maneuver, where it's easier for the kids to hop up on the seat when you get the wheel wells there, and just it's not as comfortable. So I'm going to be looking at least when our next bus purchase is coming up and to be due, to maybe see if we can maybe upgrade the interior on those, at least one of the buses for seniors' use when they go on these trips, and as well as maybe even get a little bigger bus. So more to come on that. We're looking into some of the numbers and whether it can be done or whether it's feasible. Obviously, transportation is one of their biggest expenses in getting to and from the event. So more to come on that. I didn't make any promises, but I did promise I would look into it. Some of the events coming up, we got the Spring Bazaar this weekend, Friday, April 26th and April 27th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Sheila Ray Adult Center. The bazaar will feature homemade treasures such as handcrafted items, ceramics, quilted, knitted, and crochet items. Food will be available, and admission is free, so that's good. Also, mark your calendars. They're having a jewelry sale on Friday, May 17th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And also the next Dancing with the Bands was very popular. They had a great turnout last time on April 4th. The next one's scheduled for May 2nd. And that is at the Garden Terrace, right? The Garden Terrace on May 7th from 7 to 9 p.m. So a lot of activities going on. If you got this buzz that was mailed out to everybody in the village, keep this handy because it gives you all the events going on, and we're going to try and get that out again to everybody for the next summer brochure, and so they can attend. And that ends my report.
Any questions or comments for Commissioner Cook? We have on here other committees. What are other committees? Is it just the foundation?
Foundation, we have a report.
Any reports on the foundation?
Yes, we
Nice.
did have a meeting at the foundation, and I don't know if I have the date here. Oh, I do, April 16th also. It was 4:30 at the administration building. One of the items we talked about is the scholarship program and making some adjustments to make it more available. Since we have some money in our fund for scholarships, we looked at, first of all, with the Athletic Association's programming coming in and becoming a program of the village, or of the park district, I'm sorry. We wanted to make sure that they would be included in our scholarship program, where previously they had not been. So now that they are a program, they can, if they have a financial need, they can come to the foundation for possible scholarship to assist with registrations and cost of programming. We did vote to increase the percentages that we allow, as well based on the poverty guidelines, we increased those. And we also, however, the yearly household limit, we kept the same. So more people should, the bottom line is, more people will be available for scholarships if they apply. So I would encourage you, if you are having a hardship and you have kids in the program or want to participate in some of the participant programs, that's what our foundation is there for, one of the reasons we're there for. So please come and fill out the information, and hopefully we can help you out. We also discussed our one big fundraising event this year will be in August. It's the duck race. You'll be hearing more about that as the time gets closer. And I think that was it. Those were the highlights. Am I missing anything, Tammy or Ben?
I
Okay.
got a question for you. So if somebody was interested in looking into the scholarship, would you just go to the front desk here at
Yes.
the admin building, or what about the
The
pavilion?
pavilion.
Yeah, the pavilion.
Pavilion,
as well.
okay, so you can pick up an application for a scholarship at either place.
Correct, and it's through the Elk Grove Parks Foundation, so just indicate that you're looking for for the forms to fill out for the Park District.
And the Hattendorf as well, because we do have
Oh,
preschool
okay.
families that do that.
Is that online also?
No, you have to,
Or you gotta put the application in?
and then you have
Parks Foundation
information,
and-
yeah, and then there's
okay.
information that has to be fulfilled with that.
Okay.
You have enough money for bus upgrades? Just saying.
Do we have enough money for bus upgrades?
Yeah.
Possibly.
That's a good
Once
point.
again, as far as the buses, we're still researching, first of all, what the cost would be and comparing it to using outside transportation, outsourcing it, obviously. So, this just came up two weeks ago, so, it's premature to be talking about that. But yes, that would be a potential assistance that could be done there.
If we have a really successful duck race.
Yes, if we have a real successful duck race, correct.
All right.
Any other questions?
Any other questions for Tom? Legitimate.
That was very legit.
Any old business? Any new business? I have one if nobody else does. And maybe you addressed this at the last meeting, but are we on Facebook Live currently?
We're
Right.
Facebook.
No, not yet.
No.
Oh.
Not yet.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
meeting
you mean
isn't?
this meeting?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant the park.
Soon.
No.
I'm getting harassed by my daughter who doesn't live in Illinois, so I gotta believe she's watching it somehow.
So I'll get an update, but not yet.
Oh, okay.
Well, she's probably watching the old meetings. then.
It says it's from Facebook, so that's why I brought it up.
Well, she can watch the meeting on the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but it
my
was through
understanding,
Facebook, she said.
it's my understanding we're also on Uverse now too. Channel 6 is on Uverse.
Oh, really?
We can ask them after the meeting.
Anyway,
So,
I'm not sure.
fair enough. Okay, no new business? No more new business? Okay, I need a motion and second for resolution 19-03, a resolution pursuant to section 8 of the Local Government Professional Services Act, invoking the use of the competition waiver because fees are estimated not to exceed $40,000. I need a motion
Make
and a
that
second.
motion?
Anyone?
Second.
Thank you. Can I get a roll call, please?
Commissioner O'Malley,
Yes.
Commissioner Cook,
yes,
Commissioner Viecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Sauter,
Yes.
President Wall.
Yes. We're to payment of the bills, which is April 10th, 2019 P cards in the amount of $127,494.13. April 11th, 2019 in the amount of $176,838.68. And finally, April 18th, 2019 in the amount of $49,190.87. Can I get a motion in a second?
So moved. Second?
Can I get a roll call, please, Kathy?
Commissioner Cook,
yes,
Commissioner Viecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Sauter,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Yes.
President Wall.
Yes. At this time, I'd like to make a move to adjourn to closed session for the purpose of discussing the purchase or lease of real estate per 2C5. Need a motion on this.
So moved. Second?
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Viecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Sauter,
Yep.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Yes.
Commissioner Cook,
I'm sorry, I just have one question. Was that on the agenda?
No, but we've been told by our esteemed attorney, Tom Hoffman, that we can kind of move on the fly now.
Okay, then my vote is yes.
President Wall.
I am a yes as well.
Oh, you want